Franklin Police Department, what is your emergency?
She was a stay-at-home mom. She was there for us.
We need somebody up here at Harrison Franklin. We just had a shooting, somebody shot.
And I heard them leave really fast, and we were wondering what was wrong.
Sir, is anybody shot?
Yes, sir. Somebody shot a drive-through person at the window.
This case is very challenging just simply for the fact that there's no motive.
The person who has been shot, are they still at your location?
Yes, ma'am.
But the person who did the shooting is gone?
Yeah.
I want this case closed for Peggy and for her family.
It's nice that people still remember her.
Every interview that I do with people about Peggy, the only thing she cared about were her family, church, and work.
Peggy Cox was a mother of 3, but her unconditional love spread into the lives of her children's friends as well.
She was everybody's mama. When we went to the swimming pool, she was everybody's mama. If they needed change, they dug through her change purse for it.
My childhood friend has, from the first time that we went and picked her up one day to go with us somewhere, I guess to the grocery store or something, she's always called my mom Chief. Because she was the one in control.
As long as she knew we were okay and we were safe, she wasn't too worried about us.
She went to church every Sunday.
It didn't matter what time you came in or how bad you felt. You got up and you went to Mass.
She let me miss it one time after a prom. Even when I wasn't living at home, I knew I could go to St. Philip's at 8:30 on Sunday morning, and she would be there in the back of the church. So I could always find her there.
If Peggy wasn't at church or at home with her family, she was most likely working at this Hardee's on Murfreesboro Road in Franklin. It was here that gunshots rang out one February night, leaving Peggy mortally wounded, her family in shock, and our police department searching for clues. 23 years later, this remains the Franklin Police Department's only unsolved homicide case. February 1st, 1991. It had been a busy night at Hardee's, and as the clock ticked closer to midnight, the staff inside was preparing to call it a day. Peggy worked the drive-through window. Her son Jude worked a few feet away as a cook, preparing orders his mom took from drive-through customers. Around 11:45, an unidentified male voice came over the intercom. Jude began making the meal.
Just a couple of seconds later, Jude heard 2 gunshots. He immediately went to the ground and he saw his mom fall into the floor from the drive-through area, and he crawled to his mother.
Franklin Police Department, what is your emergency?
We need somebody up here at Harrison Franklin. We just had a shooting, somebody shot.
Where?
Hardee's in Franklin.
Hardee's in Franklin? 96 East?
Right.
Did you get the ambulance en route?
No, ma'am, I just called the police.
Sir, is anybody shot?
Yes, sir. Somebody shot a drive-through person at the window.
All right, where was he shot at?
I don't know yet. I just know she fell.
Is he in the car?
Yeah, he's in the car and he's already gone.
All right, is the person who shot, are they still there? They are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay. Well, we'll get the ambulance in route.
Several witnesses outside the restaurant at the time of the shooting that heard the gunshots, and they described a small compact type vehicle leaving the Hardee's restaurant at a high rate of speed and getting onto the interstate, I-65.
Peggy Cox was rushed to Williamson Medical Center. Doctors there tried to save the life of a woman who is said to have always put others first. The injury she suffered proved fatal, killing this mother of 3 on her 49th birthday.
I saw her that morning before I left for work, and I can't remember if I went by that evening to see her, because sometimes we'd go through the drive-through to say hi on Friday night or something. I don't remember if we did or not that night. I just know that whole day prior to that was just weird.
I had gone home from work sick because I had a cold, and we were just getting ready for bed when the call came, and my boyfriend, he got confused about who it was. He said, "We've got to get to Hardee's," and I was like, "Why?" And he said, "Your aunt's been shot." And I was like, what was my aunt doing at Hardee's at midnight? She's a 50-year-old woman. And when we got there, my brother was sitting there holding some bloody glasses, and the police officers were firing questions at him, and Jude was freezing up and couldn't even tell him the phone number. And so I sat down and I just kept looking at the glasses and looking at my brother, and I said, Jude, those are Mama's glasses. And he said, yes, it was Mama who got shot. And I was like, that's when I finally understood what was going on. And Jude couldn't even, he couldn't talk. He couldn't tell them anything. They were asking him, what was the voice? What did you see? Did you hear? And he was trying everything he could, but he was in shock.
I was at a party in an apartment across the hall from where she lived, but she didn't know I was over there at the time. And I heard them leave really fast, and we were wondering what was wrong.
Although little is known about who murdered Peggy Cox, one thing is for sure. Her tragic death has saddened her family of co-workers, friends who affectionately called her Miss Peggy.
This case is probably very challenging just simply for the fact that there's no motive. When you look at Peggy, she didn't have anything in her past that was derogatory.
Detective Darren Barnes joined the Franklin Police Department 22 years ago, asking to take the lead in this case in 2011.
I'm currently assigned to the FBI's Violent Crime Task Force. Because of my position with the task force, it opens new resources that are available to me, and these resources will bring us one step closer to solving this crime.
Not only does he have the backing of FBI resources, Detective Barnes now has an open line of communication with members of the VDOC Society, an organization of dozens of internationally recognized experts in many different specialized facets of law enforcement. The society sees only 8 cases a year. Detective Barnes made a case to be heard, and he was.
There were probably 65 members of the VDOC Society, and as soon as I finished giving the presentation, just about every hand went up in the room. They offered some really good suggestions on how I could proceed with the case. Several of the suggestions that they had given, I'd already done, and some of the suggestions I didn't even think of. So it was a very good experience, and I think it's going to be very beneficial for this case.
Another February has come and gone with no one yet in custody, but someone out there knows who killed Peggy Cox.
At first you always wonder who it was, and where you go in somewhere you wonder,
Are they looking at
are they looking at you? Are they after you? And then when you finally get back to work and think everything's normal, somebody comes in and hugs you and you lose it again. I hope they can live with themselves with what they did.
I have no idea what I'd say to him.
I'd like to know, if it was an accident or if it was random, or, were they just meaning to shoot inside the store and accidentally shot her? Was it meant to kill her? Was it just an accident? Was it because she jumped or something? Or because she knew who they were when they drove to the window?
Questions Detective Barnes hopes to answer one day, to give Peggy Cox's family the closure they need.
My message to Peggy Cox's killer is not to get too comfortable, because with each day that passes with this investigation, we get one step closer to solving it. And one day we will put you behind bars.